Uh, Good afternoon, good evening, folks. It's me all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. I usually do, but I'm really been busy today, folks. Everything's been going on today. Last night there was the Rising Phoenix Arizona Pro. Uh, that's boom. You know, that was a great show. I watched it all up to about midnight. Oh, I mean, it was long, but folks, it was a good show. Anyway, folks, I'm wearing my Bad Rap jersey. Shout out to Bad Rap. Shout out to Eunice. I love this jersey. It's so beautiful. It's nice. And I got it. Was it about a couple of weeks ago? Actually, about a month ago. In fact, yeah, about a month ago. And I'm preparing for my trip for Pittsburgh. The plan is to go see my sister's house for a couple of days because she lives in Fayetteville, which is a little closer to Raleigh. It's going to take a time to get somebody to come take me all the way to Raleigh. That's a good drive from where I stay at. But I stayed there for a couple of days. So usually I have my Sunday roundtable that last Sunday. So I decided to have it this Sunday. And this is the last full week of this month. So folks, I appreciate y'all coming in and checking me out. Also, I've been looking at my count at my channel. I'm almost a few people away from 7,000. I can't believe it. I just hit 6,000 no more than a month ago. And now I'm almost at 7,000. I appreciate y'all guys. I appreciate y'all people who support my channel, my content. You ladies too, especially the ladies. And guys, you don't care about me. You care about the ladies to come here. So we have here a couple ladies sitting in the building. First off, we have to say hello to our regular suspect, the lovely Mrs. Beverly Coleman. As you know, Beverly
Hey,
just competed at the Rising Phoenix, and she should be number two, but she's number three. But we give her applause in that one.
thank you,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. And the other person, they should have been number three. We give them this. What happened? Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Say,
Wait, they're supposed to go. Wait, where's the? There it goes. So no offense to y'all. I mean, this my dear friend. She looked good. She looked really pumped and shredded. She looked lovely. And also, folks, we have another lady who's been a guest on before. It's been a while since we had her. She just finished up a couple of shows early this year. She was at New York, and then she bounced back top three Omaha. The lovely Mrs. Megan Russell.
Hello.
Hey.
hey,
Thank you.
This is every muscle personal fantasy. Two buff chicks at the same time. But then this gotta be ruined because who's here. Hey, no, hey, brother, no swapping, no crossing swords. The rule. My man David for the female bodybuilding forum.
hey,
Shout out to David.
David.
Hey
David was,
guys, hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How
David
are
was
you?
Yeah, I really appreciate David.
Good.
He been collaborating with me some of the stuff when he was in Tampa, and I appreciate that, brother. I've been collaborating some of the stuff I've been putting out. I just want to pay it back. And also when I go on my trip to Pittsburgh, I make sure I tag him in some of my videos and stuff because he really has been he's one of the people that really been helping my channel grow too. So, folks,
Thank you.
as you know, just wrapped up the Arizona Pro, aka Arizona Pro / Rising Phoenix. And this is why I tell anybody: if you are physique, if you are wellness, bikini, or figure, or any other divisions, you're doing the Arizona Pro. If you are women's bodybuilding, that's the Rising Phoenix. That's separate. Okay. So, if somebody was there who had her feet on the ground, her boots on the ground. Bev, what was that experience like? Right now, she's in the
Oh my
airport. She's
God,
going to
I'm
get
so glad I did that show. It was a great show. It was very well ran. I saw so many different people pros. I was going up for Miss International, but me and my coach had taled about it. We said let's just go ahead and do it so that way you can kind of get a feel for like if you're ready for that, to go do your to go and do a national show. The show, it was great. The ladies looked fantastic. So I'm gonna say this: if I, I'm gonna say when I turn pro, not if. I'm gonna when I turn pro, I will definitely be doing the Rising Phoenix again.
Yeah, put in the application. You got me. We got to put in the application. Also,
Oh
we have another
yeah,
guest.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, another guest. My man KL the Wanderer coming through. Now we got too many dudes here. I just it's too crowded. It's too crowded. You know, dudes. I got two lovely ladies here and got two hard legs here.
Well,
I get to the
I'm
point.
not staying long. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna stay like 20, 30 minutes because I got
Uh,
stuff to do.
yeah, I appreciate that. But also, we have another guest here. He just popped in. My nephew Alex. So yeah, ladies,
Hello.
there's a
Hi,
beverly
hi
guys
guys.
here.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey Alex, hey Alex. So anyway, it was a great show. Honestly, I did watch it. I wasn't going to buy it because I'm saving for my trip. I said but you know what? This is the biggest bodybuilding event, and I didn't want to miss out on it. I mean, it was a great show. Uh, Quite a few ladies come across the world come to the show representing, and as you know, my favorite is always going to be the champ herself, Andrea
Oh yeah.
Shaw. And here she is giving a little speech.
Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. Tarek Gindi with the Mr. Olympia. I'm here with the champion of the Rising Phoenix, Andrea Shaw. This is the sixth time she wins this event. The Rising Phoenix is the event that has brought bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding back. Andrea, a great battle, one of your best displays of physique. I love what you brought to the stage, but you had some new competition there. Levina Braros, she brought it. You had a call out. Tell me a little bit about this battle.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I knew that when Sandy started with the bottom of the call out, and then she kind of dismissed Lavinia and I to the side, that it was going to be the two of us back to the line, and we were going to have it out, and we did, and it was fun. And I think that again, Lavinia, she brought a great package. I mean, it's good to see her having done her work, and it's very motivating. It's inspiring. So yeah, I mean, but it's game time.
Hmm.
And I'm friendly with all the girls. I love the girls. We had newcomers. That's exciting. I think that we had a lady, Megan, from Women's Physique. I told her, welcome home. But again, yes, at the end of the day, it is a competition. So yeah, we get out there, we do our job, and then we let the judges sort it out. But yeah, it was good. It was a good time, and we posed it. We posed it hard, and the judges decided that today was going to be another win for me. So
What?
I'm thankful. But we get to go again in 5 short weeks. So back to work. I'm sure she's going to be back to work. I expect her to be.
Another battle to come. You said before finals you were doing this show for your mother. You needed to win. You delivered. You dedicated this victory to her. Talk a little bit about your mom in this moment.
So my mom, for me, she's a fighter, and she represents a lot of the discipline that that a lot of people see now in what I bring to how I train, how I travel in off season and stay prepared during those times. But my mom, thank God, she's gotten past a little bit of a stint in the hospital, so she's doing well. But she was just very clear with me that I needed to have faith. And I needed to go and come win for her and for God, and I needed to stand on my job. And she's like, get out. So I'm like, okay. So as much as I wanted to spend a little more time with her, I'm still happy that she told me to go and do what it is that is in my heart to do. She knows I absolutely love competing. And I thank her. I thank her for just being, by my side. She's posed with me virtually, helping me with, different aspects, jewelry, suit selection. So she's still very much a part of the process, but I just can't thank her enough for, encouraging me to just go and do what you got to do. And mama's going to be cheering you on. So thanks, mama. I love you.
Very nice. Congratulations, Mom. We are praying for you. Your daughter delivered today. Andrea Shaw is one of the greatest bodybuilders of all times. I've been judging bodybuilding for 20 years, and every time I sit and I watch Andrea Shaw, It's truly a pleasure. It's one of the greatest physiques. She poses well. The roundness, the conditioning. She's beautiful. She's truly a blessing, not only for the audience, for the judges and other competitors. In 5 weeks, she'll try to get another Mr. Olympia. She could end up with 8, like Linda Murray, with 10, like Iris Kyle. And even if she never wins again, I'm going to tell my children she's one of the greatest of all times. My name is Tarek Gindi with the icon, Andrea Shaw with Olympia TV. Subscribe right now.
Congratulations to the champ. I mean, I'm a fan of this lovely lady. She came in great condition. Uh, I like I said again, coming into the Olympia in another 5 weeks, I don't see anybody really taking that title from her. She has overall physique. I know my man Big Keith told me like George, when Andrea's on, she's on. And coming here to the Rising Phoenix and to she won the title last year and to defend it again, that is a gift. I would say she's amazing. She's really one of the tops. Here we got some people that popped in, and I want to give shout out to some of my guests that just popped in. Shout out to I just saw her a few minutes ago. If she was here, give me a second. Sometimes my computer wants to act funny, and that is I think I saw Beverly, not Beverly. I mean Nicole. She was here. If she's still here, I'm trying to get down here. Oh, there she is. There's Nicole. She popped in. We
Hey,
have here Nicole
Nicole.
Strauss. Yeah,
Hi.
we hadn't seen her in a while.
Hi, Beverly.
Hey.
Hey,
How
yeah,
you
hey
doing?
Cole, thank you for coming through. Yeah, and yeah. So anyway, folks, yeah. Hey, Nicole. So anyway, folks, did any of y'all watch it, the show, and what y'all thoughts, especially as you look at the divisions that they evolved over time?
I watched most of it. I didn't see the women's bodybuilding. I think when it came on, I was watching something else.
You
But
missed a treat. It was outstanding. The
Yeah, it
girls
was.
looked amazing. Andrea gets better and better. I mean, oh my God.
I, I can't believe that was
Anybody
you
else?
yesterday. I didn't recognize you for a second. How did it felt like on stage yesterday?
Oh my God. I'm glad I did it. It was a great experience. But my coach, I talked to him this morning. He was like, okay, that's in the pages of history. We're fixing to get ready for this next show. We're going to fix what we need to fix and come out swinging. So he's gonna let me get a couple of days to kind of reset my body and rest it, and then we're just gonna hit the ground running. But I had an amazing time. Georgia that won, Jordana. She's a great person, y'all. We hit it off. We actually did the Lila Brada together in Houston a couple of weeks ago. And then she had texted me. She said, hey, are you going to do come do the thing? Because she lives here in Phoenix. So I said, yeah, let me go ahead. And me and my coach had already talked about it. We were thinking about doing it, but I went in and did it. But I'm glad I did because I needed to kind of shake out some cobwebs from being on stage anyway after my little hiatus for 5 years. So it was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
you
so
was
she
third
really
place.
surprised. Yeah, she surprised me yesterday. When the minute she stepped on stage, I was okay. We got a new pro in the works. Yep, she didn't make it to. Glad she made it to the open. I think she think it's best. I think she need to work on her legs a bit. According to Eunice, but that's her advice, not mine. So glad she made it through.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Well, anyway, it was a great show. I mean, the lineup was pretty good, especially in WPD. Shout out to Mariana Van Geke. I'm mispronouncing names sometimes, but she was pretty good. I would honestly say she looked great. It was between her and Winsome White, and Megan, you competed with Winsome in a couple of shows, I believe, didn't you? Where you were both in New York, right?
Yeah, we were both in New York, and then I competed against her on my rookie debut in Atlanta a couple of years ago too.
Yeah. And she also that was week before she also won the Masters Olympic qualification to at the Max Fit, and I would say it was really close. I think Mariana had the more better aesthetic. She was a little bit more put together, especially in the waistline. A
Mhm.
good back. I mean, and she's a lady who comes from Chile. She got a qualification a few years ago at the Red Isle show, but it was only three competitors at that show. And this time she's up against 19 other women. Well, there's a little caveat on this one. Uh, it's a competitor that was at the show, and I've already talked with a couple people about this, and I don't think you know about this, Megan. This competitor, she actually competed at the Vancouver last year, y'all show, and her name is Hung, and she competes in women's physique. She made a debut a couple of years ago, and it looks impressive. But then I posted a picture with her and Hera Nakajimi, and there's a picture I posted with them together. I made a mistake because I thought she was Chinese. She said she's from Taiwan. Then I saw some posts here and there, and she has an amazing body. She has great potential. But then someone gave some information that really kind of well, she started following me on my social media, and it is some information that I just found out that he's a dude. It's it's been confirmed. You know, uh,
We won that
it
again.
goes
What you
back.
said? We won.
This
We
is
won. What you said again?
this is actually a man.
Oh,
Oh, and
And,
he's competing as a woman.
he competed
and he's
just
competing
yesterday
Interesting.
at
in
the
Yeah.
women.
Arizona Pro.
What in women's physique,
Yeah,
women's bodybuilding?
Um,
women's physique.
Oh,
Confusing
Is
right now.
IFBB aware of that? Do you think? Or I was curious.
I
Interesting.
think they know. I was kind of because what I posted it was a picture I tagged him in, and he identifies as a woman, but he is a man. So I
Interesting. Huh.
it
I don't know
shouldn't be
about
no
that.
surprise. It shouldn't
Is
be
the
no
IFBB
surprise.
going to do anything about this? Like, are they going to allow that to continue? Are they
well, it's too late.
aware?
I don't know. She already has done two pro shows. Already. She did Van Isle a couple of years ago. No, last year. Van Isle last year, and doing the Arizona Pro this year, and that's already two shows too many. I think some people may not like the idea of that.
I mean,
Interesting.
it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, if you like weeks ago, you heard about the men that trying to compete in the WNBA,
But that's
and
the WNBA.
that's like the outburst of that, and that
That's
could happen.
WNBA. You know,
So
but he's got to think like this. Bodybuilding already gets stigma of women being called men
Right.
because they compete in
Exactly.
a very masculine sport. Now,
but
it's
it
one
shouldn't be
thing.
a surprise. It's not a.
Yeah,
It
it's.
I
I'm not saying
mean,
it's not a
I'm
surprise, but
thinking as
brother,
well. It
you
shouldn't
got
be
to
a
think about it.
surprise.
It- you say it's not a surprise, but some might not think it is. That's your thinking, but
And
this is
and and
something.
and, and the thing is coming out of fruition because if they doing that on a popular sport at as popular, well, the WNBA it's not that popular. Well, it ain't compared to the NBA. But if men are competing in women basketball, like it should be a surprise with women bodybuilding.
No, but the
You know,
IFBB
We have
doesn't need to tolerate that. That needs to be a
Yeah,
zero tolerance policy.
exactly,
Hard
exactly.
line.
Because he's already got the advantage.
Exactly.
He's already got the advantage. Why should we already have enough time? We got to work our butts off in the gym and
Right.
eat and do all the things we got to do. Then you're going to get somebody who's already got the advantage.
Like, I would never be able to compete with a biological male ever under any circumstance.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's why they have their own. They have a league of their own. They have their
Yeah,
own
Exactly.
bodybuilding.
I've seen a lot of
I'm
women
not
that look better than
condoning
him.
it. I'm just saying
You know,
that probably you women have to speak up too, because I mean, like not too like what a year ago, what you call it, somebody was competing in strongmen
Mhm.
and in the women's division, and the people had an outburst about it to a point where, and the person won, and then they disqualified the person because people spoke out. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that it
Right.
shouldn't be. It's familiar to me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it happens, but it doesn't need to in this sport.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
no, it would be cool. First of all, that guy, I've seen women that look better than him, but I know he has the advantage. But I've seen like a lot of female bodybuilders that actually look better than him, and they're like biological women. But
Yeah,
what would be interesting? What they, if anybody was open to it, they should create a category for people who identify as what they believe they are, not what they
exactly.
were,
Yeah,
not what they were assigned to at birth. Okay, I
yeah,
identify as a woman, so okay, you can go to this category with other people who identify as women.
that's an idea too.
So,
So
but yeah, that's not fair. It's like, come on, like get it out of
right.
here.
So it remains
Yeah,
inclusive. They're not like excluding anybody, but it's just like a league of their own.
exactly.
Right.
But I don't know if anybody will be open to that. But I think that would be a good idea. So now you have a fair advantage because now you're with like we're with women. Like I'm figure, OCB figure. I want to compete with other women who are figure, right? Women.
Exactly.
Exactly. But
I
my
would have.
question is, why does he not want to compete? He could do classic physique.
He
Like,
could.
why would you
or
want
maybe
to compete against women knowing you are a biological male? Because you already know you got the advantage. You know you're going to win. See, and that goes back to knowing your why. Because he
Yeah.
could easily go to classic physique and go against the guys there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because he thinks he's a woman. Oh.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
But he's not. That's the thing. Mm.
That
yeah,
gets messy.
this goes back to, was it last year, was a competitor who is a woman but lived as a man. She had a full on beard, but they
Yeah,
told her if she wanted to compete, she had to shave the beard, and and again, she does have an amazing body, I think, but I think people, especially y'all ladies back there stage, and not everybody's going to be as friendly or very tolerable, because the
right.
fact is you're already getting sprayed and glazed, and and you're in a situation where you may not feel as comfortable with it. But if you want to compete, understand you have, as Zive said again, you have an advantage because you have natural testosterone. You can build muscle a little bit better and more than a woman can. And if you in a category along with women, also some ladies feel like this is the one thing that kind of gives them the stink eye more in bodybuilding, because they always get associated being very masculine.
Exactly.
yep, yep,
And that goes back with the female who was transitioning to a man and they told her to shave her beard. Part of the criteria for women's physique is, femininity. That is
yeah,
something that you're judged on. So I can see them telling her to shave her beard for that purpose.
yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think they should let her compete. If she looking like that, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
If she doesn't look feminine enough,
They should at
because
least
like you said about the
dock her
stigma,
scoring for it because I mean that
if
is a
you getting
criteria that they judge.
but if you getting the stigma of it, you guys got the stigma of she looked like a man, and then she's actually looking like a man.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of contradict itself.
That's true. That's true. But still, if she was assigned, if she was a woman at birth, that's what she should be at. Or create a category for people who, if I identify or I transitioned or whatever, you go in that category. But that's gonna be a whole big thing because everybody has like a different.
Yeah,
When you come to like pronouns and like what people identify with, that's gonna be a whole nother story because people
Right.
identify with this, to this, to that. It's gonna be that's gonna be tricky. But
And would there
I don't
be
think.
enough people to support that division and support that class? Would there be enough people comfortable enough to do that?
yeah.
So, I mean,
Nope, I don't think so.
no, probably
Well,
not.
I think
it's
that's the only way
really
to
it's
be
up.
fair. It's kind of that's the only way it would kind of be fair. It will level the playing field. That's all. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
Whatever you're
Well,
signing
like
at birth, that's what you should be competing as.
So,
Yeah. Well, for now, that's something that the NPC IFBB need to take care of and talk about. That's up to them if
sure.
they are, they already got other plans. But one lady who just, made her bodybuilding debut at the Rising Phoenix, and also now qualified for this year's Olympia. Because this is going to be her second Olympia. The first time she got qualification was at Atlanta in last year. She competed at Tampa and Atlanta and got a qualification in Atlanta for women's physique. And now she's going to the Olympia in women's bodybuilding. With the Rising Phoenix, the top three competitors you get the qualification, but you already have people like Lavinia, who's already number 3 in the world. She's already got her spot. You got the current champion, Andrea. I was really shooting and rooting for Shira Priami. I really hoping she would get her shot. I hope she's maybe planning on maybe coming back next year, because I heard that she's thinking about retiring. But Megan coming in here, I felt like she still needs time to grow. But this chick is really, I mean, there's a lot of talk about her, especially as a physique competitor, being maybe over 200 pounds during her off season.
Well, she was 198 pounds on stage, so she's got
Wow.
a lot of mass as a women's physique competitor. Her and I are about the same height, plus or minus 1 inch, and she has 45 more pounds of stage muscle than what I have. I mean,
Wow.
she blew out women's
Oh,
physique a long time ago. So she belongs in bodybuilding, obviously, because she's going to the Olympia now. So
Yeah, yeah,
One thing I
yeah.
thought was
And
interesting about her was that she kind of dwarfs the women's physique competitors. She looks
yeah,
gigantic, but then she
yeah,
dwarfs the women's bodybuilding competitors too. She's like gigantic compared to all them too. And
yeah.
yeah, she's amazing. And I think that she just needs like some more density in her back, I think, to be more competitive in her back. But otherwise, yeah, she's perfect for women's bodybuilding, I think.
She really is. She has a bright future ahead of her, and she has room to grow. She was kind of placing a cap on her physique, trying to stay in women's physique. So now she can just grow and grow, and that's what her body wants to do. So I'm interested and excited for her in bodybuilding, and it's good for bodybuilding the division because with her and Paula and Sarah, it's bringing like a new fire to the women's bodybuilding.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
yeah,
bodybuilding needed
Yes.
that.
I
Yes.
agree. Yeah.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
mhm,
It needed these
yeah.
new
And
popular
most,
faces because the numbers have been trending downward. And I think that the Rising Phoenix has shown with 17 ladies that this is turning around for bodybuilding.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, think about
yeah,
last
I
year
think
too. This women Rising Phoenix only had like 5 women's bodybuilding. I think, even though it
Exactly.
was 3, there was 3 Olympia qualifications. Although they added that kind of late. But
Yeah.
oh, there's Eunice. Hey, Eunice.
Hi, Eunice.
Hey,
yeah,
Eunice.
Hey, ladies.
you just popped in. This is a bad rap.
There you
I
go.
got my jersey
Bad
on.
rap.
I just want to, I want to show off my jersey.
That
It's
rap, of
it's
course.
nice. Yeah, bad rap. My man got his shirt on. He can wear shirts because he's a little man. So
Still sitting,
I'm a big man, so I got it.
still sitting on the
Yeah,
jersey soon.
yeah.
Congratulations,
Man,
Beverly. You looked
Oh, there's
amazing
Mel's.
yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you. It was, I enjoyed the experience of just being there. It was great. It was phenomenal.
I can
Well
just
ran
imagine.
show. Well ran show. Everybody was really great.
Oh my gosh, the crowd,
yeah,
that was just exhilarating watching it live streamed to see that
Yeah.
many women on stage. The
Yes.
competitors, amazing. Yeah.
Yes, it
yeah,
was.
yeah. We just
Hey,
talked
Beverly.
earlier about what
Huh?
I
you
want
about
to
to
ask
say?
Beverly just real quick about like how was the crowd? Was there generally a big crowd for the whole show?
It was standing room only. My husband and his friend came that lives out here, and they had to stand in the back. They stood a while, and then they ended up bringing extra chairs in because it was standing room only.
That's
Nice.
Oh,
terrific. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good.
That's great
Yeah,
to
it
hear
was
because
great.
most definitely, especially when you have a show where you don't have, as I say, you don't have banana hammocks in the board shorts. You don't have them.
Yeah.
Where we did have one guy was they used to wear a banana hammock, but that's you know, but
I was so happy
it's
to see all the female bodybuilders because, like we were saying earlier, the numbers had dwindled down over the years, and I was afraid they were going to try to get rid of the division again. But the girls came out swinging. They were like, "Nope, y'all
Yeah.
not gonna do this to us." So
And that's what they needed. And I hope they continue that trend and that fire into next year too.
exactly.
Because a lot of
Hopefully,
shows have been dropping, like bodybuilding. They weren't even offering the bodybuilding class anymore. So hopefully
well,
a couple of more shows will start picking them up now that they're bringing some heat.
exactly. That's what my fingers are crossed. So some of them will go, okay, let's add women's bodybuilding to
But
this. So yeah, different. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because Chicago used to have it, but they only did this year. They did the Masters. There was only two competitors that competed in the Masters of women's bodybuilding. New York dropped it. When they made the announcement last year, somebody sent me a link. Said, "George, you see this link?" Said, "What is it?" Said, women's bodybuilding not on the New York Post. Said, "What the hell?" I'm looking at it. And the guy, and the one thing I like about that they didn't do at the Rising Phoenix was added fit
bless
model.
you.
Bless you.
No, that wasn't a sneeze. That was a spit. Hot. That
There were a
I
lot of fit
mean,
model competitors though in NPC. There were a lot.
and
Yeah.
that's why I talk about this. It belongs in the NPC. It should be like a startup or a novice or kind of a transition division.
Like a gateway to bikini.
Yeah.
It should be, yeah,
And then,
yeah. It
then
doesn't have any
because
place in the pro level.
Thank you.
yeah, because what's the point of it? Because the lady who won bikini was the one, Ashley, what's her name? What's her name?
Saltwater.
Ashley, Saltwater, yeah, the one they based the idea on for this division. But she's doing bikini now, so
Yeah.
you can see how she's evolved. So what's the point of creating a division that after a while, like you look at, like we talked about Megan, how when she started, she was figured. She was going to do wellness, but then she was having issues with her hip, with the dysplasia, because it's a very, if you don't have those natural aesthetics, like bigger hips, thicker thighs, it's not a division for you. And, you look at how women's physique has grown and look at how figure has grown. Right now, it's her Tyler Mannion is creating, for this upcoming Olympian, there's going to be height and weight, requirements. So you can
For
probably
figures, who's
push
going to
out
weigh
some
them
of
in at the Olympia?
yeah, so that probably can push some women out of the figure division into, like division like physique.
But I mean, there needs to be some boundaries because there are some figure ladies that are huge. There does need to be a distinct
Yeah.
line about where you fit because the division standards are different. So I think the lines have been getting blurred between figure physique and bodybuilding for a while. So I'm hoping that with some of these ladies moving up and some height and weight requirements coming in at the Olympia, that this is kind of the trend for starting that.
Yeah. What you saying,
Yeah, I
Kale?
agree.
I mean, you say this all the time, but it still ain't gonna do anything. I mean, if they gonna have the fit, but they gonna have it. So
But
We
his
can
thing is,
wish.
this is my shit, man. I beat this man brick by brick. I can say what I want to say. I beat brick by brick. Brick by brick.
how many times you been saying it? Like 20?
Because this is my shit, man. I beat brick by brick. Brick by brick. Brick by brick. Brick by brick. Brick by brick.
All the time you went. It's still
Because this is my thing is, this is again, I built this thing brick by brick.
Anyway, I was watching it. They didn't look that bad. How about that?
But his thing is, but this is the problem. His problem. His problem. What happens when you have more of these competitors? It's going to expand the time of the shows. You're going to have shows that are going to go in 2 days, and then there will be long shows, then transitions, waiting on the judges. This is a conversation, brother.
What you gonna do?
I'm gonna talk about it as I talk about it because I built this shit, man. Me, brick by brick. I don't need a man tell me why you do.
40, 50,
because I can. It's America, man. It's America, man.
I'm gonna give it, but 20, 30.
Hey, George.
Yeah.
Hey, George, how come I can't see you?
You can't see me?
No, I can't see you.
Might be something going on. Can everybody see me?
I can, but I can't see you moving. It's like you're frozen.
It might be something, because I might have so many people here. It might be something wrong, but if you can hear me, that's good. That's all.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you.
But
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. But like I said, man, this is my channel. I can talk about it, bit by brick. So
you talking about it like
you just want to start shit. That's why you want to come out here. Start shit. You want to start shit.
Go ahead with your fit model, help her, whatever. It's still gonna be there.
Yes, I'm gonna do that because that's my shit. You do what you do. You do what you do. I do what I do. Do I ever complain about what you do? No. But you come out here, don't you? You come out here, don't you? Because you want something to do. You come out here, don't you? Come on. Yeah. Keep talking.
It's not going nowhere. It's not going.
I know it's not going nowhere, but you know what? Can I be a hater? Can I hate? Can I hate your vote? Can I do that? Do I have that freedom to do that? Do I have that right to do that? Do I?
I will say this. I think because of the amount of fit model competitors, it threw the show a little behind.
It's done that at every show because there's like 30, 40, and 50 fit model girls.
Yeah,
I was at the
it was.
University of Tennessee yesterday for a
Yeah.
concert, and every single college girl walking around campus would fit in fit model without dieting.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that just pisses
It
me off.
made the show a little behind because of
Hey,
that.
you know what? The next division is going to be a sorority fit model.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's basically what it is.
Try
bikini division.
Hey, try
The
Delta.
thing is,
Yeah.
Delta,
bikini-
Omega.
that's where it goes like this.
We call it the tri belt bodybuilding.
Yeah.
After a while, those girls with feet model are going to look like what bikini is now in the next few years.
And then they'll just have to make. Well, I mean,
and
that was a
then-
transition. That's supposed to be like a starter division. Bodybuilding's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be attainable for everybody. There's a reason that it's hard. This stuff is hard. It sucks sometimes. And you shouldn't be able to walk from a college campus and get on stage in the same 30 minutes and do well. That's not the point.
Exactly.
This stuff takes years of sacrifice and dedication. And yeah, like I said, that's every college girl looks about like a fit model, but
Yeah. And there were a lot of college girls. A lot.
Yeah.
In that division.
But we all know it's just about bringing money in for the NPC and IFBB.
revenue. That's it.
Yeah, but thing is, the revenue. Why isn't it there to help the athletes? Because you have to pay when I talk to my IV pros here, Eunice and Megan, y'all got to pay a fee every year to keep your registration so you can compete and also keep your pro status. So
it's like $275 or something.
Yeah. So what does that money do for you other than, hey, I can do a show or I can, for Eunice, she does masters. She still has to pay to play.
Yeah, it just looks pretty on the wall. That's basically it. It doesn't really do anything else. It doesn't know any tricks.
Yeah.
I think
And,
it's ironic that
Right.
NPC has true novice for fit model when they're all really true novice, aren't they? They
I love
don't-
this novice.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of ironic, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. I do think it's because I was trying to watch the live stream last night and waiting for women's bodybuilding, and I was nodding off during I like that they had all 17 ladies do their posing routines, but it was also after midnight for me, and I was just like, oh man. And the Toronto show went way late this year, and the women's physique got pushed back to way at the very end of the show, and so I think Fit Model is pushing the more muscular divisions out in a sense. I mean,
And it's
literally,
harder for us to keep our peak than it is fit model. You know how hard it is to stay hard, grainy, and dry hours and hours on end while fit model gets up there with their 5,000.
Exactly.
I'm like, come on.
Start holding water in places. You're like, my God.
And while we're not having any water all day at that.
I know that's got to be really tough. And then when they mess with the schedule like that and kind of give you guys the short end of the stick, I mean, I think it's kind of a disrespect to y'all, so, but yeah.
I'll be crucified for this, but I don't feel like fit model's bodybuilding. That's a beach body thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say it. I agree.
It should be called it something like beach body,
Beach body, right.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you do have it because remember a few years was a couple years ago, Betty Pariso started to move away and do her own thing, and she's supposed to start her own little federation. It's supposed to be like beach body. You had guys wearing jeans and I think tuxedos and stuff like that, and girls in gowns and dresses and stuff like that. But again, it's about bringing in money and revenue, bringing teach people. But then after a while, some of those girls who are getting trained alongside with bodybuilders, it won't take them long to be just as involved in it. They say, you know what? Maybe I want to grow. Maybe I do bikini. No, you know what? Maybe I want to do figure. And then after a while, you look at someone like, several other competitors who start off in one division, eventually grow up. And, the thing is, we go back to why criteria is very important. And it goes back to the judging. Like we watched, Beverly, and she should have got, second. I'm gonna be honest with you. You look good. You just gotta make the fixes, make adjusted things. But then, you see a competitor who just maybe not as good in condition, but still do better than you. It just seems like the judging is sometimes a big issue when it comes to competitors.
Big time.
Yeah, you almost have to take it on the chin and just say, hey, the next show, I'm just going to knock it out the park, which my coach had talked to me this morning. He was more mad than I was. He was like, that's some, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, hey, you know what? We just going to regroup, knock it out the park. When I go up, there will be no doubt. It's going to rely on me, how I do my workouts and stick to my meals and all of that. So he was like, "Oh, I like that attitude. You're not." I said, "Why? Why?" I mean, Ronnie Coleman even told her he didn't get mad all those times. He got 19. He said he kept getting better. So I said, I'm gonna be like Ronnie. I'm just gonna keep getting better."
Mm-hmm. And that's what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, you can't control what the judges pick or who else shows up. You can only control what you
Exactly.
bring to the table.
Exactly.
Now that's very good sportsmanship. I feel if you can, it's like everybody. I mean, it's easy to win. You can win like a champ, but you gotta be able to lose like one too.
You got to lose like one too.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
I
Yep.
wasn't so
Exactly.
mad. I was
Oh, I
mad in
was
New
so
York.
happy. I was like, I met some new friends. I looked at it as a sisterhood. I
It
was
is.
like,
It's a
hey,
traveling sisterhood. That's what it is.
yeah, yeah. I met some new friends. We laughed. We made each other feel at ease.
Hmm.
I was great. I was good with it. I brought
Yeah,
the
that's
back
what.
best. That's one of the best packages. I know I could do better, but I brought one of the best packages that I've seen on my body in a
Mhm.
while.
And
That's
that's
what
what
So I
counts.
you.
That's
know,
what matters.
yeah,
You
and
have.
that I know I could do better. So my goal is just get better. I know I need to bring up my glutes. That I do know because unfortunately, my ethnic self. That's one thing that we do have is big butt. So we have to bring all that in and down. And then I got to get my conditioning a little. They just told me get your conditioning a little bit better.
Mhm.
But I was hard on stage. I mean, I
Mhm.
had hamstrings were out there. Everything was great. Pedro was proud, but he said we just gonna knock it out the park next time.
That's right. And look, you haven't competed in 5 years. I mean, did pretty damn good considering you haven't stepped on stage in 5 years. A lot changes in a year, let alone 5 years.
Let alone five
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
So to me, that's a win in itself. So I don't know. I feel like losing is winning and winning is losing to go hand in hand because
exactly,
a winner is a loser that just never gave up.
That's
And the
exactly what
exactly.
setback,
it is.
the
Mhm.
comeback is always better than the setback. To me, that wasn't a
There you
setback. That
go.
was a win.
Exactly,
You can come back bigger and stronger. So to me, you
exactly.
didn't lose. You won a lot more than you feel like you lost. So just give yourself some grace. I think you did a really good job.
Oh yeah, for sure. I had a good time. I loved it. I loved just being there was great for me. Hey, you guys, I'm gonna get off though because I'm at the airport, so we're about to go check our
I can't.
bags in and do all
I
of
can't.
that. So we're headed back to Texas.
I can't hear.
Safe
Thanks
Can
for
travels.
you hear me?
joining.
Thank
Safe
you.
travels, Bev.
One thing I was
George?
curious
I
about.
can't hear anything. Can you guys hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Beverly's. Yeah, she's dropping off. George's coming
There's
back.
George.
Yeah.
Hey, George.
Oh, now we can
Yeah,
see him too. Yeah.
yeah. I just had to
Um,
make adjustments. Sometimes I think I have too many
I can't
people
hear.
on. Keep waiting.
Oh,
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Yes.
sure can.
Okay. I
yeah,
had
we
to
can
make
hear
a I had to make a little adjustment. I think because sometimes I have a lot of people here, Catholics. But yeah, Bev, as you know, Bev, she's a great lady. We wish her all the best. And with this season wrapping up, um, can you believe it? We have one more show coming up. That is the Alita Popa
can you hear
Classic.
me?
Yeah, you know, and that's one of the last Olympic qualifications. But also with this year, there's also Steve Carr. That's coming up. Also, there's two shows outside of the country. There's a show in Mexico and a show in Brazil. And this year, Steve Carr, for you, Megan, it added WPD. Would you think that'd be a
Yeah.
show you want to jump on if you had the opportunity to?
Maybe, definitely a possibility next year. So we'll see. I don't know exactly where my radar is going to land. I'm waiting for my coach to tell me after the Olympia kind of what he wants and how much more I need to grow. But that's a definite possibility.
And shout out to Steve Carr because this is one thing we had live on uh, last Monday, and they added 212. As you know, Anastasia Ryder, she did a GoFundMe for women's bodybuilding. 212 did a GoFundMe, and it took them 6 days to get the money, and to get them on that show. And it's funny, yeah, because and we talk about how it's not enough support unless you are bikini or wellness.
Right, because we don't.
Yeah.
Well, there's not enough support because there's brands that don't want to stand behind, the muscular women.
Right. We don't fit their mold.
And they're going to stand behind the men because that's who came to rescue the 212 was Gasp. But what about Better Bodies?
Right.
They own Better Bodies too. How come they can't contribute to women's bodybuilding? How come they're not contributing to women's physique?
Because this year you helped contribute to the Atlanta Pro. You worked with Linda Murray, and that's good. You did good work. And also she also contributed to her and David were contributors to the Triple O that was early this year. And the money's there, but it's got to find people who genuinely want to support these divisions. Even the physique illusion shows. They had a couple of shows here. They lost them. They were at St. Louis. They got kicked out of that because that year, a lady that you competed with, Rika Jones, she won it. She was the last champion. There was 5 competitors. But that same year, Pittsburgh had 3 competitors, but yet they didn't dock WBD. They even had less ladies than compared to last year. They had counting Paula, Marika, a couple of ladies, had at least 7 to 8 ladies. And you just did New York, where I think it was 8.
11. Another 11 in New York. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, again, if it's about the numbers, I think one division that probably gets the worst is fitness. I was watching the fitness round, and one lady's, Danielle Chicklets, she had a big fall. She got hurt. I was watching Atlanta when fitness. Michelle Gales, she got hurt during the routine. You think that division has much of a life, with injuries that happens, in the last few years?
She blew out her ACL at the Olympia doing fitness. Had to take the whole rest of the year off. Probably lost the Olympia because of that. I bet she would have won.
Well, can you imagine, Megan? I mean, the condition that you have to be in order to be on stage, and these girls have to be in that condition, and
with gymnastics,
with the demand of the endurance and the stamina it takes. I can't even imagine how they feel.
Your tendons, your ligaments. That's just a recipe for disaster. Being that lean and dry.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see how it happens so often.
When I get so close to my timeline for my show, even working out their legs, you feel like, you can't push as hard because you're afraid of an injury. So I can't even imagine what it's like to be a fitness competitor on stage, doing flips, all the demand that they have to do in their routines. And I mean, yes, of course, the injury is going to be, high for them.
Very much so, because of the gymnastics.
They're often actually competing with injuries. That's one thing I didn't realize. A lot of times they're already injured and they're like, oh my God.
Well, you saw Missy. You could see her blow her ACL out on stage at the Olympia. That was just devastating.
Man, that was
awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I do joke with the women's physique and women's bodybuilding ladies sometimes, when are you going to do the flips like that on stage?
Hey, I do cartwheels and stuff with my kids outside. I got skills, okay? Granted, I'm 25 pounds above stage weight, but I got skills.
Well, Ashley does the gymnastic moves.
That's true. Yeah, she does, which is impressive.
Yeah. Because I think Ashley was a gymnast for a long time, and she's actually incorporates into her routine. And speaking of Missy Trescott, as you know, she made the switch to figure last year. I think she's working with your coach, Ralph.
He's my teammate now. Yeah, we're teammates.
Now. And
Yeah.
hadn't seen her too much lately. I'm gonna pull her up real quick if I get a second.
Oh, she
And
looks good. She looks good, good.
as you know, she's doing figure, but I think the last qualification for figure was in Austria. That just got wrapped up. The winner is Christina Zarafa, whatever her special name. Christina's
Oh
25
yeah.
years old,
That girl's
and
great.
I mean, she has an overall great physique. But here we have Missy here, and she's also working with her poser. She's working with Christina Mendoza. Christina is now going down to wellness.
Wellness. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it works for her a bit, but she still has some of that muscle from years of being bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And you think that Missy can do well in WPD?
I think Missy will do good in figure once she brings up her glutes a little bit because her shape is just phenomenal. She has that tiny little waist that's coveted in figure.
Yeah, I agree. She's great for figure.
Mm-hmm. No, if she continues to grow,
You know,
obviously, but the backside, the posterior chain is what her critique was, I believe, for figure to be more competitive.
She seems like a natural
and
with heels too. I just don't see her doing women's physique, yeah.
well, with the new requirements, especially they're putting weight in height measurements. This pops is going to push quite a few ladies out of it. One lady who is, she uh, made her, WPD debut right after she took bottom last at the um, at the Optima Classics is Gabriela Hoftova. And I remember when I saw pictures of her, I said, yeah, she should be doing WPD, but she still needs to work on a few things, especially her conditioning. She has a good amount of size. I think the conditioning is the big part of it that she needs to work on the most.
100%.
Yeah,
And
I think
pork
it was
and her waist.
yeah. That's the thing. I think her abs are a little bit off, I think, and have been all this season, but I think she could work on that. But I think it was a good move for her to move to women's physique.
Yeah, definitely. But she's just
Mhm.
got to get leaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
she got because she was struggling. She's been to Olympia as a figure competitor, but then the last few months she was struggling. She was dead last at the Ultima here. She didn't place too well in some other shows. David, you were there when she was at the Ultima. Did you get a chance to see or even interact with her?
Was she at Optimum?
Yeah,
Oh
she
yeah, she
was.
was at Optimum. Yeah, I forgot. I really didn't get much chance to talk with her, unfortunately. But yeah, I saw her on stage, and I thought she looked good. Just yeah, that's my big gripe with her is just the abs. I just would like to see her get some tighter abs for sure. I'm kind of an abs fanatic anyway. But yeah, but I think it was a good move for her to move to women's physique for sure.
But when you make that move from figure to physique, you got to bump that conditioning up, though. You got to come in leaner and harder.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because I was a figure girl. Well, I was actually bikini and then jumped into figure and then grew into physique. So I had to diet harder and harder with each time.
Yeah, it was nice to get to
That's
see you in
it.
person, Megan, at New York Pro this year.
That was good to see you too.
Thank you. That was a good show too.
Yeah, yeah, it was
I would
good.
like to redeem
I mean,
myself at that show one of these days.
Oh yeah,
well,
you got a new coach now, so I think you will.
yeah, for sure. That's working out a lot better.
yeah, because you met Rolf when you were at New York. Because your previous coach.
Oh boy.
We've been talking. Yeah, we've been talking a bit. I say like this: as a man, you shouldn't act like like a teenage little girl. I mean, you take the good with the bad, you roll on, you move on. But if you act like you're a child and in a professional kind of position, then you shouldn't be coaching or training anybody.
Right.
Mhm.
And it wasn't the tan. Like I didn't place 9th out of 11 because I had a bad spray tan. I wasn't conditioned enough. And I'd been saying that for weeks going into it. I was like, I don't feel like I'm lean enough. I feel like I have some more that needs to come off. no, we're good, we're good. And I'm like, I don't think we're good. My conditioning isn't where I think it needs to be on the pro level. It would be great for the amateur level. I'd knock it out of the park, but that's not the playing field that we're on.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that was just kind of the confirmation that I needed. I needed that to happen to make me move, to get me out of my comfort zone, because I was just comfortable because I've been with him for 4 years.
Yeah.
So,
and you got to see Raphael in person too.
I did. Well, what I really appreciated about him was how he interacted with his clients. Like, and not everything was cookie cutter. Like, this person had this much fluid, this person had this much Gatorade, this person had this as a carb up, this one had that. Everything was very specific, very detailed, down to the milliliter into the gram. So that just let me know that I needed to level up, and I'm glad I did. So.
He has quite a stable. One of his clients is Yulia Gavachiva. We were hoping to see her maybe do a couple more shows because she did Pittsburgh and New York. Also Missy, counting, just he's really has been climbing up the last couple of years. He's part of the Full Access, which is started by AJ of Female Bodybuilding Channel. They come on and do critiques. I think he's also working with Sarah Creel, who competed at the.
That's true.
And I think Sarah's another one who might need to consider to move up.
Yeah, she's borderline for sure.
Yeah, she is. She's getting big.
I wonder what her off-season weight is.
I'm not sure.
She looks like she's maybe like 143 pounds there.
Oh, she's probably more than that because I'm 150 something shredded, and she looks bigger than me, like more dense.
Yeah. Because I remember she competed in a show with Tracy Guile a few years ago, and she got a pro card at that same show with Tracy. And there's a video I saw of it. It was her husband, Tracy's husband. He was booing in the crowd. I would say she's at that cusp, and this is where it goes back where the judges should really talk to some of these competitors about maybe make those adjustments. If you can do physique, then you might have to pull back on your training, change your diet or whatever. But then when you are a lot more dense in the upper body, when you look more like one division over the other, like we talk about this quite often. Shout out to our man Keith. We talk about how that the criteria is just changing every year. Like one lady who I follow, she's competing at the Olympia. That's Sylvia Martinez, and she was third at the Imperial, and then she pops up and she wins at Portugal, and she has crazy conditioning. She's from Spain. And the debate is how long could she stay? Because she took a couple years off from competing. Anybody got any thoughts?
Is she in physique?
Yeah, she's physique.
She's definitely pushing for bodybuilding. Her density is just really impressive.
Yes. That's when it goes back to density. It's put on the size. Right. Anyway, but anyway, folks,
And judges need to be solid about their feedback though, because they just told Dr. Meg a couple of weeks ago at her last show that she just needed some more mid-back density, and she was definitely physique. And I'm like, come on now, that is the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. And then here she is changing to bodybuilding, and I'm like, these judges need to be for real with their feedback.
And she looked huge on stage too.
She's huge. She swamps the rest of her. I'm not a small girl. Yeah. She has 45 pounds of muscle on me. Like, she's very muscular.
Well,
looks amazing.
Is she 5'10" in height? What's her stature?
She's 5'8", and I'm 5'7". So there's 45 really? Pounds difference.
She is 5'10".
No, she's 5'8" and 1 inch taller than me. Like there's a lot of muscle on that frame.
Wow.
Because I'm 5'7". I met her when I was at Tampa. Me, David. I think David like about 5. I think David might be a little bit 5'8". I'm 5'7". We both met her when she was at Tampa, and and she's a big girl. Yeah. Shout out to man David. He had to step out for a minute. He says he has to go. He says, sorry, I had to drop off. I have an interview, need to prepare for it. Okay, brother, thank you for coming through. Also, we have here says, Dr. Meg looks gigantic, especially side chest. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. But she
But
looks good.
anyway,
That's not a diss at all. That is, she looks amazing. Her structure is great. Her shape is great. She looks phenomenal. So she definitely fits women's bodybuilding more than she fits physique. That was a good move.
Yeah, and she has the freedom to grow. You know, there's no cap
Exactly.
there. I mean,
She don't have to
she's
cap her growth.
yeah, yeah. She's on the loose.
Right. Like with her and Paula, both their bodies just want to grow, and now they can.
Yeah.
So
but what? How do you think they're placed? Because you have Lavinia, you have Ashley, you have Nadia Capasoto, which where she got in the top five, beat out someone like Nadia. You have Alita Oprah, who's going to be there. Alcyone, a couple of
Barbara.
ladies might not even crack the top 10, and you got Paula. You think they have a chance to get into that top five, or even to get into the top three?
no, not their first year in bodybuilding. Yes, they look great. Yeah, they fit the division more, but they need some more density and some more upper body development to be top three. That's just my 2 cent worth.
I see them 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there.
I can see that. I can see a top 10.
Yeah, top 10 for sure.
Top 10.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
think their conditioning is going to get them far.
That's exactly right. And that's what I like about Paula and Meg and Sarah both. Sarah was another one that's moved up to bodybuilding. They're pushing bodybuilding to come
Yes,
in
to
hard
come
and
in
dry like they
conditioned.
should be
Yeah.
because they had been getting a little softer over the past couple of years. The physique girls have been showing up more appeal than bodybuilding. So they're going to force these girls to come in hard and shredded.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to see something different just by
For
having
sure.
them in there.
Definitely agree.
But the thing is, would they sacrifice size? Because that's one thing about bodybuilding, is about the size. So much not condition is important, but you have to be. We have a difference between a bodybuilder and a physique competitor is the size. If you look at Andrea, how she's not that tall, but she really is
And
boom. I mean, one person I think some people have issues with is Anastasia Korbaleva, from Russia. She is huge. She is, I think, probably one of the biggest women in the sport of women's bodybuilding. Big question: will she ever make this show? Because the last couple of years, she has visual issues. So getting Olympic qualification, and you can't do the Olympia. What's the point?
yeah.
Anyway, all right. Our dear friend Nicole just left, and I appreciate Nicole for coming through. Anyway, folks, I'm going to Pittsburgh in another week or so. I'm kind of excited, so I want to get anybody like feedback. What's this like? Because I'm a country boy. Further a bit north was Virginia. That's almost 20 years ago.
Oh, I
I have
love
never been to
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I have never been. I have no advice. I don't know. I'm a country girl myself.
Oh, it's the most beautiful town. There's so much to do. The location is like
We
the
can't
best
hear you,
location.
Eunice.
What's that?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can't hear her.
I can hear. You might have to go in, go out. I mean, I can hear. Go ahead, Eunice. What are you saying?
Well, it's the location is prime location. I mean, there's everything there at that hotel. You step out and there's like places to eat all around you.
Nice.
So, like it doesn't matter what time the show is over. There's a pizza parlor. There's a steakhouse. There's, everything's around you, surrounding you. So there's never a bad timing there. And everything is at the location. There's one entry, there's one exit. So you will get to see everybody that's off that stage, coming in and off that stage. It's like the perfect venue. It really is.
I'm excited about that. We have here, it's one of the babies talking to you.
Yes. She was going outside to jump on the trampoline.
All right, tell me easy. Be careful. Shout out to a man here. Yeah, shout out to a man here. He says, it's the pits. He. I never been there. Also, he just he has an interview today with I'm talking to Jenny Jenny Bees later. She's awesome. Yeah, I mean, she's a impressive lady. She was
tough. Was she fourth at Texas Pro?
She was third in Texas.
Was she?
Yeah,
No, I
she's
thought
third in
Jen.
Texas.
Who was second? I thought
No, wait a minute,
Jeanette.
wait a
I
minute,
thought
wait a minute.
Jeanette
I think
was
she was fourth. Yeah, I
third.
think she was fourth because I
She was
think
fourth.
Jeanette Johansson was third.
Was third.
Yeah, and I was watching when they were getting the awards. I was surprised that she didn't place as well as I thought she was going to place. Especially she was third in Texas, coming in here, and most definitely thought she was going to win because Linka won that show. Actually not Linka. It was Sharonica Hinton.
Veronica.
Yeah.
And Sharonica, you think she'll compete much longer, especially how the division is growing and changing.
I don't know. With her hiring a new coach, it makes me think that it's given her a little bit more fuel to keep going. So initially, I thought she was going to back out and retire, but I think now she might give it another run.
Who did she go with? What coach?
I can't remember his name. I'm not familiar with him. I looked up his profile, and I'm not familiar with him at all.
It sounds like she's willing to grow. So,
I think her feedback had been to grow her legs. She needed some more legs to match her beautiful upper body.
Yeah. I think a coach out of Brazil, I believe, because sometimes
it's either Mexico or Brazil, one or the other.
Yeah, because sometimes I go into her stories. He'll be translating or saying something, and her placing, she was fifth last year. Before that, she was in top three. And now, you see that the former champ, she's been active and she's been posting stuff. Sarah, so what do you think is her chances now? You think, and this year, Natalia did not do any shows.
Yeah.
So that was a surpriser. I think that's a smart move. Also, another lady who didn't do any shows this year was Jessica Repa-Diaz. So, with those two, they're part of the John Vu. I interviewed one of his competitors, the lovely Mrs. Rachel Jaffe. We were hoping to have her on here, but she's busy because things come up. But I think it's a smart to take a step back because, Rhea, she's right now the standard. I was rooting for most definitely Lola Montez. I actually saw a picture. She was at the Arizona because she took a picture with Winston White, and it's just that each time, when you have someone like Sid step away from the competition, or when Missy step away from doing her division, you get a new champion. So do you think these ladies can hold this title, especially with people coming in and maybe getting a shot for it?
I still think it's going to be between Sarah and Natalia this year. I think they're just going to battle it out. There's some personal beef there, it seems like, and I think that's what it's going to boil down to. Sarah's coming in with a chip on her shoulder. She's already just diced.
Well, Sarah is. I think with the figure division, I think depending if Lola can step up or where she needs to step up, I think she'll have a shot. But
for figure definitely, Lola can be a problem. She'll be a problem for Rhea.
Yeah,
because they're very similar in their build. They have that tiny little waist,
Yeah, that's something to beat. But anyway, as you know, with the coming up next year is going to be the Masters O. Has anybody heard where they're going to have the show at?
Bet it ain't going to be in Tokyo.
I heard rumor it was in Pittsburgh.
I hope they bring it to Orlando. Bring it back to the States.
I hope they bring it somewhere. Like Florida.
Yeah, like Orlando.
Vegas is going to have the Mr. Olympia. Then they need to have something in the Florida area.
Totally agree.
I would go they put it there. I would go there in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Like I said, if they have it there, if my funds were right, I would like to go to Orlando. Last time I've been to, we say to Kissimmee when we went to Disney World. It's cheaper to stay in Kissimmee to go to because it's not too far. And that'd be the best place because there's more shows here for Masters than it is overseas. It's only like I think 2 or 3 shows. There's the show in Spain and there's a show in Portugal, and some competitors. Like I remember one lady who she wanted to do a show, but she had issues with her visa. She couldn't go to Europe to do the Romanian Muscle Fest to do the show in Romania. And Japan thing, that was a mess because
Oh boy.
I had talked to ladies. They liked the whole thing. It was nice. It was cool. But the aftermath of it, when
Not
which
getting
he
paid.
wasn't getting paid,
Not
and
getting
Jake
paid.
had to come out of his own pockets, and that promoter is now suspended. He's banned
Yeah.
from doing shows. Like for you competitors, you know, this is a business, and you understand. You make your money from whatever or from sponsors and promoters, but as a competitor, you're putting your time, your sweat, and your tears into it, and you don't get your pay out of it.
Right. That's one of the reasons that you do this at this level. One of the several, but that's a very important one. No, they ended up getting paid, didn't they? They just had to come elsewhere, or somebody else ended up paying them.
Jake Woods.
That's right.
But I think it was like 3 months down the road.
Right. It was way on down the line.
It was way down the line. Yeah.
Yeah, because ever since I talk about Jake, yo Jake, I want that money, I want that gun. And one thing, most definitely, they need to do is to do more mainstream connections. Like I've seen videos and commercials and stuff with some ladies. Some ladies just TV ads. Sherry, she's done a news segment. Natalia does one. And I think that's one thing bodybuilding needs to get to be more recognition. There's a video I shared, and it was a video of this. It was a game called Sharpen Cart, where they push Sharpen Carts into the little thing when you put them in. And it's I think somewhere in Europe, but you got to think about it. It won't be long for it come to the States.
Well, you know what? We just need to audition. We just need to we need to do a call out for all the women bodybuilders to show up for that show and audition.
Yeah, that's good because we talk about this because I think one thing is more ladies need to be out there in the public eye. Like you don't have to do like a podcast like mine or
do like radio interviews.
Yeah, we need to do some promotion, especially if you're doing a show. One thing we should have did was with this Res Freezing coming being a big event that it is, maybe talk to a local news station. You can get Andrea. I think are they doing the that challenge you should do after the Rising Phoenix where they work out like it was they used to do it about every other year.
Olympia battle. Yeah, do Olympia battle.
Yeah, and get like a news group. I think Ring Safe need to really work on their marketing when it comes to social media and press. I mean, they used to have this basketball program. And when you had the ambassador program, you should have been talking to people like, hey, we have these ambassadors who want to come on, maybe talk about the shows, talk about the events, stuff like that. And we talk about quite often. But again, it's up to you competitors if you want to put yourself out there. Some are very timid. Anytime I reach out to interview, someone says, I'm shy, I'm very introverted. Here, I'm gonna say this. Y'all ladies walk around nearly butt naked on stage. What the hell you mean you're shy?
Yeah. You don't have to be a great public speaker. At least you have your clothes on when you're doing an interview or something. At least if you're on the news or something, you'll have clothes instead of a little sparkly bikini.
Or do a TED Talk or something.
Yeah.
No one asks you to be the great communicator. No one asks you to be, but just to talk about yourself, your sport, really promote yourself. Like Eunice, what she's doing, she's promoting. And I'm out here, I'm wearing a Bad Rat shirt, and I'm, I got my hats. I'm gonna take with me on my trip. I got my towel. I'm taking with me on a trip. I don't know. I might take this on a trip too. I'm thinking about it.
Hey, Megan, do you know anything about Bad Rap?
I'm familiar with him because of him. I'm going to have to start following the page.
So we launched it in 2023 at the Rising Phoenix, and the whole purpose of Bad Rap was to increase the participation in women's bodybuilding. Yeah. So 100% of our profits from our apparel line goes to support women bodybuilding.
That's awesome.
We sponsored last year the Tampa Pro. We sponsored the San Antonio Pro, Triple Dynasty. What we do is we try to add prize money. And we also have ambassadors that we sponsor for their hair, their makeup, their tan. So everything that we sell, the profit goes straight to help athletes and promoters.
That's amazing. That is really awesome.
So myself and my co-founder, Jolene Phillips, started this in 2023.
Okay. Well, what a wonderful thing, especially to promote athletes in the sport.
Yeah.
Yes,
And that was
yes,
me.
that's what we're all about.
And that was me
Awesome.
hanging with her in Tampa. I went there to help my friend and my sister, and I got to meet David Lee Roth. I wouldn't have
That's cool.
my country behind would never met it. And this is why I learned from your ladies. I have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. To get
Well,
out
that is
of my
bodybuilding. You have to dig
yeah,
into the discomfort, you know?
yeah. I had to
Hmm.
get out of my own way because I wouldn't gone to Tampa or someplace like Pittsburgh or when my first show went to Savannah because from what I learned from y'all ladies, what y'all your what information you share with me, education I get from you, and also the support you give me for when I do this channel. Because instead again, my channel just turned 6,000 subscribers no more than a month ago. I'm about to hit 7,000 subscribers,
That's awesome,
and
George.
That is cool.
Yep.
I'm getting people that follow me that and they support me and they see what I'm doing. I've also had to deal with sometimes you have occasionally with issues as the quote a good old school wrestler, the late great Captain Dick Redneck Dick Murdoch says, sometimes they don't y'all ladies, y'all bunch of yellow belly egg sucking dogs. Y'all be too scared. You talk, but the thing is, this is about you. And this is
Yeah.
about maybe promoting yourself, get yourself out there, get people to pay attention to it. Not, people always make these comments like, you're trying to be a man. You have kids, you're a wife, you have a
Yep.
husband, you're a woman.
Absolutely.
Being a man is nothing physical. If anything, I got boobs bigger than some women in bodybuilding. So it's about the state of mind, and this is about being an athlete and dedicate to something for this. And that's why I have these discussions. Like when I do my Sunday roundtables, we talk about stuff. I know sometimes it's not like we talk about the same thing over again, but sometimes you always see something different when we talk about the subject.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And trying to be informative. Shout out to my man David. He is a comedy. He says, "Bad rap is awesome. I like to promote bad rap." Shout out to him. He's also one of the big promoters of Big Supporter. When you just started this, I said, you know what? Whatever you need from me, let me know. I'm happy to help.
Hmm.
That is awesome. I'm gonna have to look into that. I hate to
Yeah.
have to jump off here, but I have to take my kids and my husband. We're gonna go get something to eat. It was a leg day, so I get to go like pig out here in a minute.
Oh, nice,
All
nice.
right.
Yeah,
Start back up.
so I
Well,
want to eat everything I can get my hands on. But thank you for
well,
having me on here, and I want to say thank you and David both the support that you give us, the female bodybuilders. It really means a lot. The encouragement and the support that we get from you, you can't put a price on that. So we do appreciate that
well, we do
a lot.
appreciate you. Some do, some don't, and those that do, I appreciate you for the work. For those who don't, I'm like Conan Barbarian. To hell with you.
Yeah, no.
All right,
So
guys.
yeah,
Y'all have a great rest of
Have a
your
good
day.
one.
All right.
Okay, I'm
And
out.
you
Mr.
rest
Nice
one
to
to you
Megan.
meet
too.
you.
Shout out to you. Yeah, and also shout out to my
All
man
right.
Davey. He says, thanks Megan, too sweet. Yeah, thank you Megan. So shout out to Megan Russell, IB Physique Pro. Wish her all the best in her upcoming next season. Um,
AKA Megatron.
yeah, make a try and go by her. You can go check her. You can find her on IG. You want to go find her, reach out to her. But guys, you know what? My rules. Reach out to these ladies, genuine interest. Don't be weird. She got kids. She got a man. I don't want to hear no weird shit. Okay. Okay. So we're not going to be on too much long here. We have my dear sister, as you know, our dear brother, Mr. Willie. How is he doing?
Oh, he's doing better. So much better. He had a tough week this week, but yesterday and today he's doing really good. Yeah.
Well, tell him I love him. I pray for him. Maybe if we ever get to hang out another show again, we find a nice place to eat. So
Of course we
hang out.
will.
Yeah, you
Yep.
know, and also Alex, you got some news that you want to share. You share with Eunice. She might want to hear it.
Well, well, I'm actually considering. I heard. Well, I heard. I was. Well, after my time at Tampa, I was having a little bit of issues with my budget right now. But when I keep hearing about the Steep Card Classic, and I looked up how much the tickets cost and how much the hotel itself cost, and I was like, why was I in this contest last year? And I thought to myself, maybe I should go there. I think this might be a better experience for me than at the Olympia.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right.
You will love it. You will love it. Steve Carr Classic is it's an awesome show because one is the venue is small. And so you will see everybody. It's just and Steve and Austin is such an awesome guy. So everything is all about the athletes. I think you'll love it.
Yeah, you'll
Good.
love it.
Glad to hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
How was
I'm
yours?
excited. Go ahead.
So how was your experience at the Atlanta Pro?
Oh my goodness, man, it was the best. I can't even explain it. Especially because the movie producers from Iron Jane actually asked if they could borrow our Bad Rap booth for their upcoming movie. So yeah,
Wow.
so Bad Rap gets a chance to be on national TV, on I guess
Look
world
at
TV.
you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, they'll ship it to us back sometime in September. So we're excited about that.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, that's good because you know what? I hope this gets you more attention, more press, maybe get more people interested in being part of it. You know, you're doing good work. One of your athletes, shout out to Delilah Banks. She sent me a video and some pictures where she was at the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that from Delilah. You know, I hooked her up with Delilah, and and she's doing promoting Bad Rap. Ladies, gentlemen, anybody who's interested, go check out the Bad Rap. I will leave a link later in the comment section. You want to check out and support them. They do have things for gentlemen if you like. This is she had to give me this one because again, if she got me anything small, I'd be like Chris Farley in Powder Boy. Fat guy in little coat.
still have the
Fat
cap
Is
guy.
on.
that a baseball jersey?
Yeah,
I'm still going to
yeah.
get my own
Yeah, yeah.
jersey.
She sent me this tougher than leather.
Is
I
that
am wearing this. I'm going to wear. I'm for for when I go to the for the North Americans, I'm gonna wear my hat she gave me in Tampa, and when I go to the World Championships, I gotta be styling and profiling like man Ric Flair. Woo! So that's why I did.
woo?
Shout out to man Davey he says no dick pics, dang it. Shout out Davey. He says I agree. Last man standing says what he says I really enjoyed watching Rising Phoenix show. It felt like a return to form compared to last year. A true celebration of women's bodybuilding. Congrats to Andrea Lavinia. Pushed her competition is getting stronger. Yeah, real
Oh
quickly.
man, the Rise of Phoenix was awesome yesterday, man. Especially the
Yeah,
Imagine,
prejudging.
can you believe 17 women up there on stage?
it would have
Yeah.
been it would have been
20.
20,
Yeah.
but
There was
you
3
know,
no shows.
yeah, because I think someone told me that so me and Dave were talking about this. Lisa Abadaka, she was doing some issues. She had some issues she was dealing with, so she couldn't
Yeah, I think
compete.
so. Some health issues.
Yeah, with Virginia Sanchez, I think she's focused on doing the Alina
She's got a
Popa
show this
Classic.
weekend, right?
Yeah, that's the Alina Popa Classic. That's this coming Sunday.
Yeah.
And with Ava Manello, it's just something with her. She's just, she's kind of like she's gonna be new Christine Mendoza. She's gonna be a bit inconsistent. She's gonna be up and down. She's But still, shout out to young Georgina. Georgiana.
Yeah. What a beautiful girl.
Yeah, she stepped up.
Oh yeah.
She stepped up. This is here from a man, last man standing. He says, happy for Megan getting the Olympia qualification. The WPD ladies gave her so much hate. I'm glad she made the switch and was rewarded. Excited to see her and Paula next to each other at the Olympia. I wouldn't say so much hate.
Yep.
It's just that
Third place.
when you look like you belong in another division, it's just that it's time for you to move up, no matter what you think. But if you are sitting 200 pounds off season, and there's girls who competes at 150, 160 off season, that's telling you something. Your body wants to grow. And you're naturally a big, tall woman anyway, standing at 5'8". Bigger, tall women gonna put on more weight. It's like smaller, leaner girls, they're not gonna it's gonna take them a lot of time putting on their weight because, or they're gonna push them, or they're gonna have to push some kind of heavy pads to do that, but they're not gonna do that. Some women don't want to take the risk because just a while ago, a young man passed away. He just did the Atlanta Pro, or was it Texas he did? I think it was Atlanta. He passed away suddenly, but everybody's gonna always agree to point fingers at steroids, but sometimes you need to take care of yourself. Follow your doctors. If you have some kind of issue, if you are abusing, performance enhancers, stop and really think about this. This is not like a job, and even with a job, you shouldn't risk your life. You should take care of yourself. I can tell you this from somebody who has a heart condition, who has a pacemaker. I tell you, I wish I did better, but you know what? I made my mistake because I wasn't thinking. But think about your health. You have family and friends that love you, want to be around, And bodybuilding, even though there's a lot of working out, training, eating, there's some aspects that can be detrimental to your health. So if you have kind of issue, I recommend get yourself a regular doctor, get your blood work checked. If you have anything like issues with your heart or anything else, make sure before you get into the sport, make sure you see if it doesn't do too much trauma to it. And be smart in your dieting, your training, and maybe something that you take. Really think about how you do it and how you take it. And also, don't listen to somebody else. If you feel like you need to get a second opinion, get a second opinion. If that person feeling is hurt, that's their feelings, not yours. You don't want to be one laid up somewhere and pushing 6 feet of dirt. So,
Yeah.
folks, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Shout out to our dear friend Beverly. She did real great. Hope we do get to see her get a pro card and maybe make her pro debut. Shout out to Megan in her upcoming season. Shout out to Nicole. As you know, she's also competes in OCB, so she's planning also to compete in natural NBC competitive shows. And shout out to other competitors. We have one here from Man Last Man Standing before he head out. He says this. He says, seeing Sarah Bradley, Megan Morrison, and Paula Ranta make the jump to WWE gives me hope for the division. All have brought so much positive attention for the division and needs it. You just can't rely just on someone like Andrea to do all the heavy lifting. Someone has to, play their parts. Also, people like Ashley Jones, Angela Yo, so many others that competes in that division. Y'all ladies, you need to step up. If you want to order for your division to have a place in the IFBB and at the Olympia or at other shows, and also if you know people that can help you with that, like what Anastasia did. Shout out to Anastasia Ryder, what she did. People didn't like the idea of what she was doing, but you know what? It has to start somewhere. If you're not willing, if you're not the solution, you're the problem. My man David, oh God, he has to say this. He says, I like that old Susan Matheson just saying, man,
Oh man.
get off that woman's hood. You're feeling it.
I mean, I'm a fan of the Wild Factor too, but man, like, forget it.
Like best way to say it like this. I say to David, I say like this. David is like Eddie Murphy, not John Witherspoon in the movie Boomerang, saying like I say to Eddie Murphy said, "You get pussy whoop, but not get no pussy." Bang, bang, bang. So I could say that to you.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, he laughing. He's a good sport. Also, shout out to man K come through. Brother, we love to go back and forth with him. He likes to, I got to be the antagonist. He has to be my antagonizer. So, folks, again, I thank my guest, the lovely Mrs. Eunice Martinez Kitchen and Bad Rap, her partner, her Jolene. What's the plans, big sis?
Well, the plans is I compete in 5 weeks, so I'm focusing on that right now. And well, we're let's see, season November. Fingers crossed. Maybe something at the Steve Carr Classic.
All right.
Nice. Well, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Great to see we wish the best for you and Jolene for what y'all been doing. Shout out to y'all. Y'all need the support, and I'm here to support y'all. Again, folks, if you are a competitor and I'm at Pittsburgh, you want to say hello, have a little intoward conversation with me. It's and also, hey, if you know some things that I don't know, help me out with that. I'm a poor country boy coming to the big city, and I'm excited. It's just again, I thank all y'all for supporting me. Eunice, Josh coming through here, Alex, my man here, David, my man KL, Bev, all you other competitors and people who follow my content. I do this because this is, again, gives me a purpose. And, this keeps my mind going, especially since my mom passed. It's been 6 years already. And, I do have family and friends, but you know what? They doing their lives, doing their things. And y'all people, I really appreciate y'all. I don't say it too often, but y'all are truly good friends. And some of you, I would say I call y'all family.
We're family, George.
Yeah, we're family, George.
You're my big brother.
Yeah. All right. So, folks, again, I have to thank my guests for coming through. I appreciate you all. Tomorrow I do my Muscle Talk Monday. Have a little fun on that. Next Monday, I'm not doing any muscle talk. It's gonna be suspended because I'll be at my sister's house, and then I'll be hitting the road to Pittsburgh that Wednesday. I'm taking a train. It's going to take a good maybe half a day before I get there. So the cost of going by plane is very expensive, and I can't afford to go. But I think shout out to my man David coming through. He says, "Thanks, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you." And again, I'll mind you something, bro. Keep your hands off my woman. I
Uh-oh.
mean, you can talk to her, you can shake her
You can
hand,
shake her hand.
but other than that, you can't put your hands on her. I cool off my brother Big Keith. Shout out to man Big Keith, brother. Take care of yourself. I've been talking to her with Tina and him. Take care of yourself, big brother. We like to hear maybe we get some things get settled, like to have you back on. I really miss your thoughts and your perspective on stuff that's going
Oh
on in the
yeah.
bodybuilding world. He's a great dude. He's really one of those people that really helped me out when I was doing this. And I want to give you a shout out because he got out of the hospital just more than a couple of weeks ago. He still have some things he has to work on, but shout out to him, shout out to Tina. She has a lot. She was hoping to compete this year, but responsibilities of a wife and mother is very important. And you can always come back whenever you're ready. My man, he's picking on me. He goes, he, yeah, whatever. But you still get pussy whipped, but not get no pussy. Bang, bang, bang. But anyway, folks, thank y'all for coming through. Appreciate it. Shout out to my guests that were here. Shout out to the guests that was here. Shout out to man, last man standing, who came through. Thank you, brother. Thank you, all you who support my channel. I'm just a few people away from 7,000. Can you believe it? I just hit 6,000 no more than a month ago, and I'm almost at 7,000. And if it's while I'm on the road and I'm in Pittsburgh, I might do a little thing because I won't leave Pittsburgh to that Tuesday, so I might have a Muscle Talk Monday that Monday before I head out. So, folks, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the support. I'll see you around the Man Away Church page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Good night, good luck, God bless, and I'll see y'all next.
Bye, Alex.